gang, gang, nigga. Bang, bang, that's the sound of the gun. Niggas ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing but run. Harlem or Bronx, nigga, where are you from? Now you wanna play dumb fucking bum. Why you call my name? I was minding my business and I got a lot of those, motherfucker. I'm rich, rich. I heard he got foreclosures at the home where he live, studio closed, plus he losing the crib. Shit is nasty outside, economy bad. Niggas asking me about banks or fab. Who gives a fuck? Who tryna see that? Fuck rap, nigga, I brought R&B back. I'm bad, motherfucker. I'm bad, motherfucker. I'm bad, motherfucker. I'm bad, motherfucker. Ooh, it's about to be a movie. Shit is getting spooky. We outside. Back tone. T.I. said he wanna do a versus against 50. 50 said I ain't got time for that shit, I'm too busy. T.I. said he must think I'm a joke, he playing with me. Nigga, I'm the king, you just don't want that smoke with me. 50 laughed it off like who didn't think he is. Why I need a rapper, boy, I'm in the movie B. T.I. on the podcast taunting 50, you a 50 ounce of back by posting pictures of his weeds. Goddamn, they don't feel. That was a hit, not a miss. T.I. dropped the this song and then so did his kid. Called it 50, yeah. Bad things that escalated quick. Now the world watching like it's about to get leaked. What happened next? Stay tuned into this rap tone. It's about to get released.
Man, from the jump, the energy in that clip was already out of control, like straight chaos in audio form. You got voices going back and forth, throwing shots, calling names, and setting the tone like this ain't just music anymore, it's personal. One of them basically comes in reckless, calling Jimmy out, throwing disrespect left and right, while another voice jumps in backing it up like they're standing 10 toes behind every word. The whole vibe feels like a street confrontation turned into a track where nobody's trying to hold back or keep it clean. Then it flips into straight taunting, with somebody asking who that other guy is and immediately clowning him like he's irrelevant, like nobody even knows him. That right there already tells you the level of disrespect. It's not just beef, it's humiliation. And once that energy starts building, it just keeps escalating. Talking about running when things get real, throwing in those bang-bang lines like they're painting the whole picture of how this could go if it really popped off. It's not subtle at all. It's loud, aggressive, and meant to provoke a reaction. And just when you think it might slow down, nah, it gets messier. Somebody switches the angle and starts flexing heavy, basically saying they were minding their business but still got dragged into it, and now they got money, status, and way more going on than whoever's talking crazy. And then it turns into financial shots, bringing up rumors about foreclosures and losing property. And that's when you know it's getting disrespectful on a whole different level, because now it's not just music or street talk, it's personal life being put on blast. At the same time, there's this whole chaotic background of the world being messed up, economy bad, people struggling, and in the middle of that, these dudes are still going at each other like none of that matters. One of them even flexes, saying they brought R&B back, throwing in that extra ego boost like they're the reason the whole game is still alive. And the way it's delivered, loud, repetitive, almost hypnotic, like they're trying to drill that message into your head. Then the tone shifts again, getting darker, talking about the streets getting spooky as the morning comes up, like something's about to happen. That line alone feels like a warning, like the tension isn't just talk anymore, it's building into something bigger. And right after that, it goes right back into the back and forth. Mentions of a possible versus battle pop up, but then it gets shut down real quick when one side basically says, I ain't got time for that, I'm too busy. That's not just declining, that's dismissing somebody like they're not even worth the effort. And of course, that doesn't sit well. The response comes back with straight ego, basically saying, I'm the king, you don't want this smoke. And now it's not even subtle anymore, it's direct competition, dominance, pride on the line. And then things escalate even faster, with references to podcast talk, posts online, and people reacting, showing how this isn't just between two people anymore. It's public, it's everywhere, and everybody's watching it unfold in real time. You can feel it building into something bigger, like both sides are dropping tracks, responding quickly, not letting anything slide. It's moving fast, like each move is forcing the other to react, and now the whole situation feels like a live event instead of just music. And when it hits that point where people are saying the world is watching, you already know this ain't staying small. And then it reaches that moment where everything snaps into clarity. Somebody literally calls it out, saying this whole thing is turning into WWE, meaning it's loud, dramatic, public, and full of moments meant to get reactions. But right after that, the real update drops, and that's where things get serious again. Because now it's not just talk. Somebody steps in and says, listen, somebody better tell 50 to get ready right now, making it clear this isn't over. And then the big reveal hits. Both Maino and Papoose just dropped diss tracks aimed directly at 50 Cent. And just like that, what started as messy talk turned into full-blown rap warfare, with multiple people stepping in and the pressure going way up. This ain't just one-on-one anymore. It's turning into a whole situation, and you can already tell it's about to get even crazier from here.
You should be polite. This is the merge. This is what happens tonight. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And you don't even count, little nigga.
I got a little bonus.
No more tricks, no more trash. Niggas is pussy, I can see it in your eyes. Black trench coat, we be creeping in the skies. Done with you bitches, no more believing in lies. No more tricks, no more trash. Niggas is pussy, I can see it in your eyes. Black trench coat, we be creeping in the skies. We done with you bitches, no more believing in lies. I come back like that ready rock, cut with that fetty rock, cock it and let it pop. Snitching, you better not. I grew around different weeds. Demons do different deeds. Pressure, I feel a squeeze. He say he can't breathe. Bitch, I got so much bread. She said she can't leave. I show her life without me. She said she can't see it. Me, I'm about to lick. You go by the drip. You in the mirror all day and still got a vibe, bitch. I pull up in different whips, whips and chains, switching lanes. Boy, I hear that shit you're saying, so I'ma get with you, man. Catch him, clip him, bought him, rip him, punch him, kick him, stick him.
At this point, it's starting to feel like every single day somebody in the game wakes up ready to take a shot at 50 Cent, and it's not even subtle anymore. It's becoming a full-on trend. It all really kicked off when Maino dropped his track Bleed Like Us, and from the jump, you could tell this wasn't just a casual release. This was a direct response, a statement, a warning shot. And the crazy part, this didn't come out of nowhere. It was all tied to those AI visuals 50 posted for the No More Tricks remix, originally from Max B. And the way those visuals were put together, yeah, people immediately caught the vibe that shots were being thrown at the Let's Rap About It podcast crew. And that's where things start getting real calculated. Because let's be honest, 50 didn't just randomly repost that. That move alone had people talking heavy, especially knowing Max B already had tension with Jim Jones from way before. So when 50 steps in and amplifies that energy, it starts looking less like coincidence and more like strategy. And now everybody's watching, because this whole situation feels like it was set up piece by piece, like a slow build that's finally exploding. But here's the thing, people are starting to get tired of the trolling. For a while, it was funny. Memes, jokes, little posts here and there. But now, it's hitting a point where real MCs are stepping in, dropping actual diss records. And the question is getting louder. Is 50 gonna respond the same way, or is he just gonna keep playing online games? Because right now, while everybody else is in the booth going crazy, he's still moving different. Joking, poking, stirring everything up like he always does. And Maino didn't hold back at all when he reacted. He straight up said, "Damn, Fifth, you made us wait 4 months for this. Let the games begin." And that right there, that's not just a comment, that's a challenge. Then he doubled down even harder, saying, "I was always the first one out the call when that blue 4 spent the block." Basically letting everybody know he's outside, he's ready, and he's not backing down from anything. That energy alone tells you this ain't just promo, it's personal pride on the line. And it's not just him either. The whole let's rap about it side is standing firm, like they're not intimidated at all. They're treating this like a real lyrical battle, like they'd actually want smoke and are worried about the name or legacy attached to 50. But at the same time, there's a whole other layer of mess happening in the background. Studios, leases, business drama, stuff that goes way deeper than music. And you already know when that gets involved, things can turn ugly real quick. Then Papoose jumps in, and yeah, he didn't come to play either. He dropped his own diss track and made sure to push it with a full video, making it clear he's serious about every word. And on top of that, he said, listen, I've been shitting on this hating-ass chump. He was just waiting for the fight to be over. That's direct, that's aggressive, and that's letting everybody know he's not here for jokes. He's here to press the issue. Now it's starting to feel like a one versus everybody situation, like multiple voices are lining up, taking turns, throwing shots, stacking records back to back. But at the same time, this ain't new for 50. He's built a whole career off having rivals, beef, and knowing how to play the game from every angle. So while it looks like pressure is building, he's still moving like somebody who's been here before. And just days before all these tracks dropped, 50 already addressed it in his own way. He made it clear he wasn't planning to respond how people expect. In fact, he shut it down completely, saying, I'm sorry, no response to the rappers who can't write a hit to save their lives moving writer alarms. Short bus shorty. That right there, that's not just ignoring, that's straight disrespect, dismissing everybody coming at him like they're not even worth his time. And if that wasn't enough, he doubled down again right after the diss tracks dropped. He went online and said, I asked ChatGPT who better than me. It said nobody, so I'm gonna run with that. I'm the algorithm. And just like that, instead of stepping into the booth, he leans right back into trolling, flipping the whole situation into content instead of confrontation. So now everything's in this weird space where the pressure is high, the diss tracks are out, people are watching closely, but 50 is still playing a completely different game. And the real question now isn't just who's winning, it's whether this ever turns into a real lyrical war or if 50 keeps controlling everything without even dropping a single response track.
Yeah.
What you gotta say to that?
What else you gonna do?
Well, we heard
That
the,
ass.
we heard the, it's WWE.
It's like he's spilling tea before anyone else can. Bold, hype, sarcastic, and street smart. Perfect for hip-hop gossip, Hollywood chaos, and scandal commentary. And that right there, that's the same line 50 Cent keeps falling back on every single time this topic comes up, like a shield he don't want to drop. But let's be real for a second. People aren't just blindly accepting that anymore. Because yeah, everybody knows 50 moves on his own timing, calculated, strategic, always thinking 3 steps ahead, but at the same time, fans are starting to feel like this whole thing is being dragged out on purpose. You got people watching this unfold thinking, okay, cool, the trolling was funny at first, but now it's like, enough is enough. This is hip-hop. You got Maino talking crazy, Papoose going even harder, and 50 is just sitting back like he's above it all, brushing it off like it don't even deserve his time. And his whole argument? Why respond if they can't make a hit? But come on now, that logic ain't sitting right with everybody. Because if that's really the rule, then explain this. Why did he respond to T.I. at all, even if it was low-key? That's what people keep bringing up. 50 slid those subtle shots into the theme music connected to the Power universe, and people online were calling it genius, saying it was slick, calculated, perfectly placed. And yeah, it was smart, but it also proves something important. He will respond when he wants to. And that's where the bigger picture starts forming. Because with 50, it's never just about the music, it's always about the narrative. Look at the whole situation with Jim Jones and that studio drama. The internet was flooded with clips showing Jim kicking a door in, making it look wild, aggressive, chaotic. But then people started asking real questions, like, hold on, if you actually own the place, why are you breaking into it like that? Now that's where Maino really started pressing the issue. He went on a full campaign basically saying 50 wasn't telling the full story, that things were being twisted, shaped, pushed in a certain direction to control how people see it. And once details about leases, paperwork, and business dealings started coming out, yeah, that's when it got uncomfortable. Because that kind of information usually stays behind closed doors, but suddenly is all public, all exposed, all part of the conversation. And let's be honest, that's classic 50, that's his playbook. He don't just attack directly, he plays chess with it. He drops clips, he posts receipts, he lets the internet do the talking for him. But here's the problem. Fans ain't asking for chess right now. They want bars, straight up. They want lyrics, not Instagram strategy. And the tension didn't even start here. The Let's Rap About It crew already lit the spark earlier this year with that freestyle. And when people watched that, a lot of them was saying Fabulous had the strongest verse out of everybody. And he wasted zero time too. Within seconds, he was already sending shots at 50, not hiding it, not dressing it up, just putting it out there. But even after that moment, still no response in the booth from 50. And now that's turning into a bigger conversation. Like, when is he actually gonna rap again for real? Because memes don't win battles. Troll posts don't silence people like Papoose who are coming in aggressive, direct, and ready to go bar for bar. Now here's another thing people are noticing. A lot of these diss tracks, they kinda sound the same, not gonna lie. The angles being used keep repeating. Same topics, same personal shots, same old narratives being recycled. They bring up his relationships, his family situations, stuff that's already been talked about for years. So for some listeners, it's like, where's the new angle? Where's the shock factor? And that's why the impact isn't hitting the way people expected. Because when you think about legendary diss records, they hit different. They expose something new, something unexpected, something that made people stop and say, wait, what? But right now, a lot of fans are just shrugging, like, we heard this already. Now the situation with T.I. and his sons, that felt different. You had King stepping in, defending his mom, even putting 50's mom on a shirt. That was wild energy right there. But then you got Damani Harris coming in with a completely different approach, more focused, more lyrical, sounding like he actually wanted to prove something in the booth. And yeah, Damani is younger, still building his name, but then you got veterans like Papoose looking at the situation like, forget all the extra, let's really rap. That's the difference. That's where it shifts from drama to skill. Because when seasoned MCs step in, the expectation changes completely. But even with all that pressure building, 50 is still standing on the same stance, repeating it over and over. If you can't make a hit, you're not getting a response. And for a lot of people watching this, that excuse just isn't landing anymore. It feels like a dodge, like a way to stay in control without actually stepping into the battlefield everyone's waiting for. And now, that's where the tension really sits. Not in the disses themselves, but in the silence that's coming back from 50's side. Because the longer he waits, the louder the question gets. Is he playing it smart, or is he avoiding something he don't want to step into?
And this is exactly where things start getting real shaky, because for a lot of fans, that excuse alone just doesn't close the case at all. It sounds good on the surface, but when you really sit back and think about it, people are like, nah, that's not enough. And more people are starting to call that out loud now, not just whispering it in the background. Because let's be honest, in today's game, a lot of songs only feel like hits when they're tied to something bigger. Whether it's a TV show, a viral moment, or some kind of major rollout, that's what really pushes records over the top now. And that's not even a shot at 50 Cent or anybody else. That's just the reality of how the industry is moving right now. The game changed, and everybody sees it. The money ain't flowing like it used to either, and that's a big part people don't talk about enough. Streaming platforms are eating a huge chunk of the revenue, labels still taking their slice, and artists, they're often fighting over what's left. That's why touring, merch, brand deals, all that extra stuff became the real money moves. So when 50 says, yo, you can't even write a hit record to save your life, people immediately push back like, hold on, that argument ain't as strong as you think. Because the next question comes right after that. When was the last time 50 himself dropped a major hit record? And that's not hate, that's just a fair question people are asking. That's where the whole power dynamic comes into play, and this is where things get real interesting. Because when you've got money, influence, and control over the narrative, you can shape how the conversation goes without even stepping into the booth. And right now, that's exactly what 50 looks like he's doing. Sitting back, comfortable, basically saying, none of y'all are even worth my time. But then that opens another door, because if that's the case, what does that say about T.I.? Because let's not forget, T.I. actually got a reaction out of him. Even if it was subtle, even if it was strategic, it still happened, and that alone says a lot. That means there's a level of respect there, whether it's acknowledged or not. Because T.I. didn't just show up, he built his name, sold millions, stamped his legacy, and put the South on his back for years. And let's be real, you can't just brush that off like it's nothing. The man built a career, made his money, and stood on his identity. That's why when 50 started throwing shots connected to Tiny, the internet looked at that whole situation sideways real quick. People were like, wait a second, this just got messy in a way nobody expected. But when it comes to Papoose, Maino, or even Fabulous sending shots in that freestyle, completely different energy. No response, no bars, no stepping into the booth, just silence and trolling. And that's exactly why fans are getting frustrated. Because this is hip-hop. This is a culture built on proving yourself when pressure is on. When somebody calls you out, especially multiple people at once, the expectation is simple. You respond with bars, not memes. Now here's where it gets even deeper, because if you really look at it, 50 today is not the same 50 from back then. Anybody who watched his prime knows this already. Back in the day, this would have been light work. He would have been in the booth instantly, dropping records back to back, not letting anything slide. But now, it feels like everything has to come with a bigger payoff, like there has to be a reason beyond just rap. Because think about it, outside of fans being entertained, what's the real reward here? That's probably how he's looking at it. And don't get it twisted, real fans would love to see this turn into a real lyrical war, seasoned MCs going at each other, bar for bar, no filters, no shortcuts. That's the essence of the culture right there. It would even set an example for the younger generation, showing them how competition is really supposed to look in the booth. But instead, 50 keeps repeating the same stance. If you can't make a hit, you're not getting a response. And yeah, he's standing on that heavy, but for a lot of people watching, that just doesn't hit the same. It feels like a wall being put up instead of a battle being accepted. So now everything comes down to one simple question. Is he being smart or is he dodging? Because from one angle, it looks like control, strategy, dominance. But from another angle, it looks like he's avoiding stepping into something that could actually test him. And that's why this situation got everybody talking right now. It feels like a one versus everybody moment with multiple voices coming at him, and the response just isn't what people expected. So now I gotta ask you, where do you stand on this? Is 50 valid for saying he doesn't have to respond to everyone? Or do you believe that when somebody steps into the ring, you gotta answer no matter what? Because back then, these battles used to happen fast. No delays, no strategy, just straight bars and action. But now, everything feels calculated, slower, tied to business moves and bigger plays. Maybe 50 is cooking something behind the scenes, or maybe he really has no intention of jumping in the booth right now. Either way, this situation is far from over. And if you made it this far, you already know. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear where you stand on this whole situation.